Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. This one was a little monkey of an earwax plug. This one was, well, no, it wasn't a little monkey actually, more like a gorilla. It was a big old thing, and I tried absolutely everything to get this out. And you might well find it a bit frustrating, but as did I. But sometimes you've just got to stick with it and be a bit patient, as I've said in other videos. This is not easy to do this. Someone wants to have a go, feel free and tell me how easy it is. Actually, no, don't have a go unless you're completely trained and qualified to do it. But that's another story. Now, I thought it was going really well, this, and I just managed to lift this up from the base of the ear canal there. And you can see it's already moving, it's already coming out. I thought, great, the whole thing's going to come out and that'll be it. Job done. Job's a good one. Bob's your uncle. We'll not talk about your aunt. But have a look what's behind that one. It's a really dark, hard, it's matted, full of hairs as well. I don't know if this chap was a cotton bud user at all. He didn't admit to it, he was. Could just be from trimming. There was quite a few hairs on the outer part of his ear, on the tragus there, and he did admit to trimming those, and he'd never had this done before ever. So this could have been building up and kind of congealing and matting together for years and years and years and years and years, which I suspect it probably was, judging by the colour of it. You can just tell how big this is because that's a full-size tube there. But this chap's ear, it wasn't the biggest entrance. I've had to stretch it open to get into it. It's like that, but the shape of the plug, it's more rounded, and the other ones, the ear canal's more elongated. Ear canals are taller than they are wide normally. This one's just a bit more stretched out than most, which is why I'm having real trouble just trying to negotiate this out. Now, it's all moving there and I'm getting a decent grip, but I just cannot negotiate it around any of these bends at all. So whilst it's been lifted up, I thought we'll have a go with the hook there. At the end of that is a little blunt, so I'm trying to dig it into there, and it's that hard, I can't even dig it in. So I'm just kind of using it to put pressure on it underneath and hoping that it brings it forward a little bit, which it does a bit. And obviously you have to be careful here because that's the bony part of the ear there. So I've got to be careful not to make contact with that bit. He wouldn't thank me for it. And again, I just can't get, I don't want to put that any deeper really, that hook, because it becomes a bit riskier when you do that. But if I can bring it forward a little bit, then that might help in some way. So I'm going to try the rosin inserter. There's no gaps at the top of this, none at all. It's completely full. So the only gaps I've got is at the bottom. And I'm going to try and see if I can force this down the side. But again, the rosin inserter is a lot sharper at the end of it. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful with all tools, but particularly with the rosin inserter. And I can't really embed that into it either. So I'm just having a feel of it here, see if I can at least nudge it to the opposite side maybe, and so you put it down the side there, you turn it round and try and embed it into that plug. Whilst the core of it is going to be really hard, yeah, the bits around the outside are obviously a bit soft, so it's just threading through that, so you need to get quite a fair bit deeper in. Now I was happy with where I got it there, but again, just not moving. She's not budging. So last resort here, well, not last resort. Last resort, throwing a grenade in there or something. I'll throw a load of olive oil in there, and I'll give it a couple of minutes to try and penetrate around the side of this, and to soften the surface of it slightly so I can get a little bit of a better grip. And it does help. I can get a reasonable grip with this. just can't wiggle it out. And it's always the case with these really dry, hardened plugs. They're very difficult to get out. And you can always tell, I think I've said this in the previous video, you can tell when I'm getting annoyed because you'll start seeing me shaking these things really fast. Now, sometimes it helps, not always. It actually did help a little bit with this one. But you can tell when I'm getting really annoyed and frustrated with one when I start doing that. In my head, I'm thinking, oh God. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, come on, for God's sake. But it has just brought that through a little bit. And you can tell because the bit more of a gap at the top there. So I can grab if I can put the suction tube at the top of that, there's a flatter surface there because that's been pushed up against the top of the ear canal. There you go, so I can try and roll it forward now. So you can kind of almost use the suction tube as a tool, you know. I'm not just using it to grab a suction grip and hopefully pull it out. I'm actually digging it in and rolling it forward. So it's kind of twofold how I'm using it there. Sucking it forward and also rolling it as well. But it's just nipping off the top of it. So I think the only way that this is going to come out is to try and dig the rosin inserter in behind that. And just, there you go, so it rolled forward. A lot easier there because I've got something more substantial to dig it into and a bit more room to play with than I did before. If it gets a bit blurry, it's because there's oil on the hairs on the outer part of the ear. Nothing I can do about that. So again, it just keeps rolling forward as well. You can tell it's a big in this, can't you? I did remember to get a real shot at the end as well of this. I'm sticking to my New Year's resolution of trying to get a few more. So what I'm doing there, I'm slicing that right into the center of that plug. Again, rolling it. You can tell how hard it is by it just flicks off the top of it. It's really difficult to force it in. And they do bend, these rosin inserts as well. They're not like completely inflexible, you know. And you know it's a hard one when you're pushing it in and it's bending a bit. So we've got it out there now. So all I'm trying to do is dig it in somewhere just so I can lift it up and show it to you guys. And there it is. Big old shiny bowling ball of a thing. Another wax baby safely delivered. But it did leave a little bit. I forgot about this bit. Yeah, I thought, how rude. After all that work, it's gone and left a little bit there, but that wasn't too difficult to get out. So just suction that out. Eardrum's looking not too bad. And there they are. A good centimetre plug on that one. A couple of centimetres all in told, which is not much longer than what the average ear canal is anyway, so it was pretty full front to back. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, but for now, take care of yourself and I will see you later. Bye bye.